All right. We are now recording, so it is all you, Miss Victoria.
Perfect. Well, first and foremost, thank you everybody for showing up. This is such a great turnout, and I know this has been a chaotic year, so I appreciate everyone taking the time to participate tonight. This is the Women on Board Leadership Academy, and tonight we're going to be talking about government boards. We have a great slate of speakers who are going to talk about their own personal experience and how the process works and kind of demystifying all of it. And then also, of course, encouraging everyone to participate and get involved in their community boards. So first, I would like to introduce our moderator, Christina. She is fantastic, and I'm super excited to have her today. Christina, if you want to just give everyone a brief introduction and then introduce the speakers as well.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tori. Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Romulus. I am your moderator for this evening. I am so excited to have you all here. I see some familiar faces, and I also see some new faces. So welcome to the family. Welcome to this club of just amazing women that are getting ready to blow your minds. I know I'm impressed by them every single day. They are my rocks and my support systems and the people who I just call when I need to like tell them that I've had a great day, but also tell them like, I need your help. So you are part of this family that is just going to grow each and every single day from here. So our amazing panelists for tonight, I want to introduce them real quick. And as I say their names, if you could just wave so that they could see who I'm introducing. All right, ladies. So we have with us, we have Cindy Boudreau. Cindy, could you give a wave? There's Cindy. All right, you'll get to hear from her very soon. We have Miss Tanu Pena. She is there. She is. There you go. Okay, perfect. And we have Miss Selena Samios. She is a sitting city commissioner in the city of Royal Palm Beach. There she is. Hello, Selena. And we have Miss Sandra Close Turnquest, who is also here with us. Sandra, there you are. And did Miss Shelley Albright join us yet? I want to make sure I didn't miss her.
Not yet. She'll be with us in a moment.
Okay, and one of our panelists will be here soon. So we look forward to hearing from all of them and having them share their amazing stories with you. And with that, I will turn it back to Tori.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Christina. I appreciate it. I do want to give you the opportunity, though, to introduce yourself as well, if you don't mind telling everyone who you are as well, because you have a great story. So I just want to let everyone know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm always so quick to like give other people the praise, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this where you're like, who, me? No. But yes, my name is Christina Romulus. I am a city commissioner here in the city of Boynton Beach. I was elected almost 5 years ago. And some of you know my story. I was 27 years old and pregnant with my second son when I ran for office. Besides the hormones and the insanity of a campaign, I managed to pull it off and win. And since then, I have been serving my city and my over 77,000 residents here in the city of Boynton Beach. It is a pleasure. It is the honor of my life. And in addition to that, one of the things I'm doing is really trying to make sure that this door was open for me, and I want to open it for so many, many more. So you'll hear a little bit more about what I'm working on, a project, a company that I'm building from the ground up just for women like you all. And I hope you'll join me on this journey of public service and really learn to balance, the need to help others, but also to still give back to yourself. With that, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. So first, we will start with the process, and we will turn it over to Cindy to discuss what the purpose and process of the government boards are. And I'll pass it over to you, Cindy. Oh, I think you're on mute, Cindy.
Okay, there we go. Okay, my name is Cindy Boudreau, and I am the agenda coordinator for Palm Beach County. I create the agendas for the board meetings, but I also maintain the board and advisory boards and committees that the Board of County Commissioners appoint people to. So there's probably about 50 different boards that any individual can be appointed to as long as they meet the requirements. And there's a couple different ways to be appointed to the boards. You can have a commissioner appoint you as his district appointment if a board has district appointments, or you can work with one of the liaisons for the departments and ask to be appointed. And then the commissioners will support your nomination. And then at one of the board meetings, your appointment will be confirmed through an agenda item. There's all different kinds of boards, health boards, HIV boards, airport boards, zoning commission, planning commissions, all different boards that are maintained by my office through a database. And that database can be, you can find that database on the PBC.gov website. In open government, there's a drop down that'll show boards and committees, and you can look through those boards and find one that is something that you're interested in. And then you can contact me or contact the commissioner or contact the liaison to ask to be appointed to that board. Did I answer your question, Tori?
Yeah, perfect. And I think it's important for everyone to understand that there's so many positions available, and you can go online and look up these boards in order to get involved. From what I've heard, there's usually a lot of openings. So it's a great opportunity for someone to really kind of stick their toe in the water and get involved and see what it's like and experience it.
Yeah, it creates a nice opportunity for an individual to get involved and take part in helping the board to make decisions, because a lot of these boards are advisory. So for instance, the Water Utilities Advisory Board, each month that board meets and they have a special person speak at that advisory board to let them know what's going on within that department so that they can help make decisions, help the department make decisions. And also sometimes those advisory board members will attend the Board of County Commissioner meeting to show their support in a decision that they've helped the department make. So there is a power in being on the advisory boards and committees, and it also helps you network with other agencies or contractors if you're looking to try to get into a certain field, because a lot of the advisory boards have business owners that may also need employees, so there's a good network also that is a benefit of being on the boards.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Cindy. I do want to pass it over and start with Selena. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your process and your experience. I know you're currently serving, so I think everyone would enjoy hearing from your experience as it is currently, and then how everyone else can get involved and how important it is for them too.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the invitation and for the Women's Foundation for putting this on, because it is a scary process. So I'm glad that you're helping with it. And it's great to see everybody again. And to Cindy's point, I actually sit on a board with the Solid Waste Authority, and it's the small women and minority businesses that it's the oversight, just to make sure that they are getting proper bids and helps and things like that. And 4 of the members on that committee were appointed by commissioners. So it is really nice to see that there is a wide variety that the county offers. So there's plenty of opportunity. I am currently serving as a councilwoman in the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I was elected in 2016. We have 2-year terms and we do not have term limits. So I've been reelected twice. I'm currently serving my 3rd term. And then we have our positions where our vice mayor rotates. So I've served as vice mayor, and then just when the rotation comes back around, everyone gets an opportunity to do that. We have several boards in Royal Palm Beach. I know Christina may attest to this, or other municipalities, that you have your local ones as well. So where Cindy was talking broadly as Palm Beach County, each municipality has their own boards and commissions that you can sit on. So in Royal Palm Beach, I actually happen to be the liaison for the Recreation Advisory Board Committee. So those are all the sports that go on in the village that use village fields, courts, anything from football. We have basketball, baseball, softball, soccer leagues, and they're travel leagues as well. So they're going all over the country, or the state, I'm sorry, they're going all over the state playing, and then they come back and do tournaments with us as well. There's the Planning and Zoning Board, which will go through as things come down the pipeline, if they're buildings that want to have any adjustments done to them, if they want text amendments or amendment changes or things like that, they all go through our planning and zoning first. And then we have our Education Advisory Board. So those are our schools. We have 8 schools in Royal Palm Beach. They're all represented in there. And that board was originally formed to get a high school in Royal Palm Beach. So they did that. We have Royal Palm Beach High School. And now they go through and just highlight everything that the schools are doing, different things that they all need, and how the education system is working through Royal Palm Beach. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there are lots of different opportunities. All of those, to apply for those positions, is you just fill out an application. You have to be a resident of Royal Palm Beach in order to apply. Certain requirements per board or commission. So for instance, with the Planning and Zoning Board, we look for somebody with technical experience, because they are looking over blueprints and site plans and things like that, just to make sure that they adhere by our rules. It's a great way to get involved if you're not really sure exactly which direction you want to go in. And one of my fellow council members was on the Recreation Advisory Board when her children were in school. So it was a great way of her getting involved and seeing what was going on, not just affecting her, but what could she do. And then later on ended up running for office. So it's a great way to get dip your toes in the water.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Selena. I really appreciate you, sharing a little bit more of the technicalities, and especially kind of differentiating between, countywide, local. I mean, again, this is why we're stressing that there's so many positions available.
Yes.
And to your point, it's a good way to figure out what direction you'd like to go in. You can experience various different boards and participate in local government and kind of get your toe in the water on that. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Absolutely,
Selena.
my pleasure.
So I want to introduce Tanu and have you tell people a little bit about yourself and your experience. I know that you've had several different experiences with government. So if you could share with us, that would be great.
Sure. Thank you so much, Tori. As Tori mentioned, my name is Tanu Pena. I am a resident of the greatest little town or village in this Western community of Royal Palm Beach, and Selena is my favorite commissioner. I've had the pleasure of serving not only Royal Palm Beach, but also my district for County Commissioner McKinley. I started off actually on the Planning and Zoning Board with Royal Palm and served for a few years there. And then I kind of moved up to represent Royal Palm Beach on the Transportation Planning Agency in regards to, transportation in around Palm Beach County. So as far as Royal Palm Beach is concerned, those were the 2 technical boards that I served on. They tend to tap me for technical boards more so than anything else. So I share in my technical experience in supporting my community. On the county level, I've had the opportunity to serve as a zoning commissioner for District 6. After that, I was placed on the Solid Waste Authority Citizen Advisory Committee, and that Citizen Advisory Committee was actually a crucial committee in ensuring that the disparity study that was conducted a couple of years ago was implemented. So, and what I found to be interesting about serving on that board were there weren't any young individuals on those boards. There were mostly retirees that really didn't understand the importance of expanding economic opportunity. So being present at that particular time was crucial in ensuring that the view of the community was shared, not from just a retirement perspective, but from people that are actually gainfully employed in the industry. So because I own a consulting firm providing engineering services, and to avoid conflict of interest, I was later reallocated to a different technical board. So now I'm currently serving as a District 6 board representative on the Airport and Aviation Advisory Board. So that's where I'm currently at, and I hope to stay there because I like that board a lot. So hopefully I don't go after projects there because Melissa will move me again. But other than that, I had the opportunity, the first time I applied through, just after running for office in Royal Palm Beach and not winning, and I wanted to stay engaged. So I applied for the Planning and Zoning Commission and was, supported by the council to be placed on that board. And the same thing came around when an opening came up on the Transportation Planning Agency. So I have full support of all the commissioners to be placed on those boards. Later on, I think I did apply for the Zoning Commission at the request of Commissioner McKinley. And again, I had to apply, basically like you apply for a job, provide your resume and a cover letter if you choose to, as to why you're a qualified candidate to represent your community on that commission. The other two boards, since I've already shown my capability, they basically kind of moved me around. So I didn't really apply for those. I was appointed. So that's basically it. I also tried to apply at the state level to be on the Florida Atlantic University board of trustees. Didn't fly. Rick Scott didn't like me. But hey, there are opportunities at the local level all the way to the state, federal. Don't limit yourself. If you believe that you have the expertise to support a board, do apply. And just a no right now doesn't mean it's not going to be a yes later. And that's basically my experience.
Thanks, Tanu. I appreciate it. I did want to mention, I see that some people have some questions that they're putting in the chat. I want to mention that we are going to do some breakout sessions with the speaker so that you'll get to ask those questions directly. And they'll be able to share with you if they can answer those questions. So I just wanted to let everyone know that. I will now turn it over to Miss Sandra, if you want to give people a little bit of background on you and tell people about your experience as well. Oh, I think you're on mute, Sandra.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. My experience is broad, and I think basically the reason I was asked to serve on several of the city and county boards was because of my experience with the South Florida Water Management District. I am retired now and recently relocated to Tallahassee. So my experience in Palm Beach County, I enjoyed all of my years volunteering. My first volunteer effort with the city of West Palm Beach was actually the Beautification Committee. A number of people probably never heard of the Beautification Committee, but because I worked with the South Florida Water Management District and our agency covered so many gamuts, but the environmental side was of interest to one of the city commissioners. And I was appointed to that Beautification Committee for a number of years. The last several years, I was appointed to the Palm Beach County Audit Committee. I did have to complete an application. One of the commissioners asked me to apply along with the deputy county administrator at the time, and I joined that committee and enjoyed it. And then I was asked for the last 3 years to join the City of West Palm Beach Internal Audit Committee. I might add that in joining the audit committee for the county and for the city, I am not a CPA or an accountant. I was primarily asked to serve because of my executive and management experience. As you know, the internal audit function is to conduct performance audits of all of the departments within the county or the city and ensure that they are adhering to the laws and doing the kinds of things that they should be doing as a department. And because of my prior position as the Deputy Executive Director for Corporate Resources for the South Florida Water Management District, most of those departments that were being audited were departments that I was responsible for. For example, finance and accounting, procurement, human resources, IT, emergency management, facilities management, and security. So my background was to provide the management side in terms of looking at the audits. And again, my experience was sitting with all of these auditors. And I will add, I thought it was somewhat ironic that I was asked to serve on the auditing committee because human resources is one department that our inspector general at the Water Management District loved to audit. So one or more of the departments that was in my area of responsibility, we were audited all the time. So I thought this is a good opportunity to share the experience. My experience in volunteering really covered about 40 years because when I first moved to West Palm Beach, I did not really know very many people, and I joined the Florida A&M Alumni Association, Palm Beach County, and that is where I learned to network, and I was asked to volunteer to serve on a board, and that board was the Sickle Cell Foundation of Palm Beach County. So my experience involved the community, civic, as well as governmental experience. And you learn a lot by serving on the board. And you also have an opportunity to really network, and you have an opportunity to perfect your skills. That's my background.
Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. Takeda, I wanted to ask you, I don't know if Shelly is she here?
Shelly is
Okay.
here.
Perfect. Shelly, I'll turn it over to you to give everyone an idea of your experience and to share your story as well.
Sure. I'm sorry I'm late. I had a slight work emergency and had to book it here. But first of all, so much fun seeing all these faces of so many people who are interested in doing this. I just want to give a props to Takeda and Judith for putting this together. It's such a great thing that you guys are doing. I currently sit on the board for the Women's Foundation and I'm proud to serve in that way and have about 25 years of aging me of experience in nonprofit volunteer work. I'm a little bit different than the last two ladies that spoke. They have vast experience in the corporate and governmental world. I don't. I was a stay-at-home mom for 17 years, and most of my experience came from volunteering and working in the community. I currently work at a local church. I'm the director of children and youth ministries, and love doing that. And I sit on some other, boards in the community right now. However, what prompted me to even think about serving in a governmental board was the Women on the Run program that the Women's Foundation has done. And it actually gave me the, confidence to ask for what I wanted. Again, I asked for the two positions that I currently sit on. The one is the Commission on the Status of Women, and I was appointed by Melissa McKinley, who I know through the Junior League of the Palm Beaches. So when I read the newspaper article in the Sun Sentinel that she wanted to put that commission back together, I texted her and said, hey, if you're someone to serve, I'm it, and it worked out. So that was good. And then the other one is the Education Committee for the Village of Wellington. And another junior league friend, Tanya Siskin, was interested in serving as a commissioner for the Village of Wellington. Actually, I had been asked by several people to put my name in the hat. They were appointing a person for that position because no one had run for it. I could not submit my name. My husband at the time had a lot of dealings with people who work in the equestrian community, and so it had been counted. I would have just gone against everything. My husband is a bank. So when Tanya called and said, "Will you speak on my behalf?" I said, "Of course." And I did, and was able to sit through that whole process, which was so utterly fascinating for me because I had just recently gone through the Women on the Run program and learned about what that meant when someone's appointed to a position. So it was fun to be able to see it all the way through. And at the end of it all, I asked her if I could be on the education committee. And guess what? It worked. So I'm a big proponent of asking, and I know that's super hard for us as women to do. But if you don't ask, you can't even get a no. So it's worth doing, and I've enjoyed every minute of serving in this capacity. In one regard, it's beneficial to me because I feel like I know what's going on, and I just have like a pulse of what's happening in the community. And since I serve in the community, I feel like it's important for me to know that. And it's an easy to educate other people as to what's happening in the community, and that's a passion of mine. So yeah, it's probably a very different path than a lot of the elected officials and other people who are appointed to the boards here, but it's worked out well and I enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to any questions you guys have later on.
Thanks, Shelley. I appreciate you sharing your story. Takeda, I don't know if we're timing wise, if we're good to go with doing some breakout rooms and having some people answer and ask questions specifically to each speaker.
Absolutely. I am just finishing up. Give me one moment. I'm trying to even things out a little bit. So we are putting everyone in breakout rooms. You will have 20 minutes. The breakout rooms are around 15 folks each. And so you'll have an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better, as well as ask some questions directly to one of the speakers from this evening's program. So I'm going to go ahead and send everyone to your rooms. Again, you have 20 minutes. I know it will not seem like enough. You will all come back begging for more time. And I promise you, I would give it if I could. So if you are not assigned to a room, please just hang out and I will get you added to one as soon as possible. So here we go. Yes. Who was that? If you are still in the room with me, you probably want to click accept. My apologies again, totally my fault.
I thought I'd be polite this time, but it wasn't enough time.
Never is.
And really quickly before we left, I wanted to say something, but we all kind of got pulled into the breakout rooms. But I did want to make sure we kind of say hello to some of our dignitaries who are with us tonight. I was fortunate enough to have Vice Mayor Rochelle Litt with me in my breakout room. So some of the ladies got to hear from her and her experience. And we also have Vice Mayor Katrina Long Robinson from the city of Westlake. She is here with us as well. Can you wave? Hi. I don't know did I miss anyone else? I'm not sure if there's anyone else that's elected that's here tonight with us.
Those are the ones that I had seen. If anyone else is elected and on, please feel free to let us know.
Is it me or is everyone frozen?
Nope.
Okay, there we
It might be you.
like, oh.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. The next portion of tonight's program is going to be having a more conversation that's going to be led by the amazing Miss Christina Romulus. So I will turn the Zoom over to you, Christina.
Thank you. Thank you. And ladies, I hope you all had a great time in those breakout rooms. I know my breakout room was pretty well, went well. You know, there were some good questions in there. And always, always, please feel free. If you feel like we're talking over your head, I know that we had some of that feedback as well, where you just weren't really sure and you had some of the questions about the basics, like what is an appointed official versus an elected official? What's, you know, how, like, if you just have some of those basic questions, please never feel embarrassed. Just send it in the chat, or something to teach you about Zoom in case you don't know how to use it. In the chat room, you can send private messages. So you can private message myself or Takeda or Tori, which her name shows up as Victoria. You can private message any of us and ask us your questions if you're just feeling a little lost or you're not sure, you know, you don't want to ask the general question out loud. Okay, please feel comfortable. This is your safe space. You are home. All right. So that being said, I am excited to introduce you to these wonderful ladies. Listen, I had to go through their bios, so I'm just like, no pressure. But you are going to hear from some outstanding women, and they're really going to just kind of give you their experience, and you'll also hear from me as well, my experience. You know, like I told you, I was very young when I ran for office, and I'm doing exactly what you all did. I served on a board first. I showed that I was willing to serve. And that's what you have to do. I would say the number one message that I believe everybody has been saying tonight, before anything else, is you have to show your willingness to serve. That is the first, you know, number one rule. And then from there, you can do everything else. And people will be willing to appoint you or elect you, if that's ultimately where you want to go, if they see that you're willing to serve and give of yourself to your community. So first and foremost, what I want to do is just give a quick little, you know, I know each of the speakers had an opportunity to introduce themselves, but I want to give you a quick little background about them. That way you understand who these people are and why they're so amazing. And we wanted to have them here as panelists to speak to all of you. So I want to start with Miss Tanu Pena. Ms. Tanu Pena is the founder of the Banwo Foundation, which is a foundation that has the mission to engage, educate, and empower women between the ages of 18 and 30. So that automatically disqualifies most of us. But her mission is to really just serve the up and coming young ladies that are going to be, you know, taking over for us as we get older and as we retire out and we're just like, listen, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. This young generation will come over and take over. She is a veteran. So Ms. Pena, thank you so much for your service of the United States Army. So we got some, am I allowed to curse on here? We have some badass women on here. Okay, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And in addition to that, she's been appointed to several boards, as you heard from her. And she's a mother of two young, amazing young people. So after Ms. Pena, we have Ms. Sandra Close Turnquest. Ms. Turnquest is a native of Georgia. But she has been here in South Florida, and she now is up in Tallahassee doing some amazing things. She is a proud Rattler, all right? She's from FAMU. Yes, yes, I see her. And as she also told you, she served in multiple roles and has done multiple things for her community. She is a leader, an outstanding leader who has really just laid the path and laid the groundwork for what is possible and what can be accomplished. In addition, our other panelist is Miss, she may have left us, so I'm not sure if, is Cindy going to be with us or did she leave from the first half? Okay, so Cindy was just here to kind of tell you all about her role in the county where when you apply to serve on a board, she would be the one that application would come across her desk. And so it's her job to really kind of oversee a lot of the applications and make sure that you're appointed and kind of take care of all the back end logistics to make sure that you kind of get to where you want to go. So we want to thank Cindy for being with us tonight, and feel free to reach out to her. I'm sure Takeda will provide you with her contact information if need be. We also have Miss Shelley Albright. You'll get to hear a little bit more from her, but Miss Shelley is the director at Family Life. She is fantastic, doing a lot of work within her church, is very passionate about that. And I'm excited for you guys to hear more from her because her service is not only governmental, but it's within the spiritual sector. And a lot of times you'll see that there's a lot of connectivity, right? You might think politics is just politics, but not really. Service is service. And that's what politics, church, nonprofits, all of that, it all falls under that umbrella of just being a public servant and serving your community. And when you think about giving back to your community, it can be in any of those avenues. It does not have to just be by being an elected official or running for office. And last but not least, our other speaker tonight is a fellow elected official, Miss Selena Samios, and she is serving as the sitting city commissioner, councilwoman in the city of Royal Palm Beach. She is from Antigua, which I want to hear a lot more about. That's so exciting that she is somebody who is an immigrant, who's doing her thing and really showing out and just showing what's possible, regardless of where you are coming from. So these are the amazing women that you'll be hearing from tonight. I just wanted to kind of give you a quick rundown of their bios because they're so phenomenal and so fantastic. And I really didn't get a chance to jump too far into their bios, but feel free to reach out to them individually and get to know them. That's the whole purpose of this platform tonight, for you to meet people and engage and just kind of ask them questions, find out how they got to where they are. And last but not least, for me, I want to just kind of give you guys a little bit of insight into why I am here and why this is a life passion and life mission for me. I was raised by a Haitian American parents, very strict, very, like, you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, or nurse. That's what you're going to be, period. And so, I started going down that path and ultimately realized I don't want to be a doctor. And I walked away from that. Till this day, my father still asks me, when are you going to go to medical school? And I'm like, Dad, that ship has sailed. Let it go. I'm not doing that anymore. But public service has always been in my heart. And, I just remember when I was about 5 or 6, my dad asked me what I want to do. And I told him, well, I want to be a firefighter. And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, I want to be a police officer. And he's like, hell no. I'm like, then what do you want me to do? And of course, that's when the whole you're going to be a doctor thing started off. But I always knew I wanted to be in public service and I wanted to give back to my community. And so I did that. And I've been doing that. And now I've really been on a mission to not only open the doors for people who are here and who are interested, but to kind of educate and open the doors even wider for those who never really saw themselves in this light or serving in these roles and who want to enter and engage in these positions. So I created a company named Politicalm. So go check it out, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. And it's Calm, C-A-L-M, Politicalm. So all it is the word political with M added at the end. And it completely changes the word. And so a lot of people don't necessarily put politics and calm together, but I did. And what I hope it does, and the purpose of creating that company, is for women like you who are entering, engaging in, and exiting civic life, who are not sure what you're signing up for. You're not sure how to do this, and you just need guidance. So as you enter into the arena, you're going to get coached and supported. As you engage within the arena, you become elected. You're going to get somebody to coach you, an elected official, current or former, who's been there, done that, and who you can, they can cheerlead you on, or they can be the shoulder that you need to cry on when you need that. And as you continue to engage into the world of politics, sometimes you need a little bit more support and a little bit more help. And so there is a mental health piece that's been incorporated into the company to really support you and give you that assistance, because usually politics and mental health, people try to keep those two things apart. And we need to make sure that we blend those two things together, because when you're giving so much of yourself to everybody else, you need to remember to take care of yourself. And so that's what Political Calm is all about. So I hope you guys will check it out and see what it's all about and use it as you enter into this journey. With that, I will get off my soapbox and turn it over to these amazing, fantastic women. And the first question that I want to ask, and ladies, please feel free to just unmute yourselves and kind of talk and guide this conversation along. What's available and how do you find these openings? And I know we kind of answered that question already, but please, for the sake of clarity, please go ahead and reiterate what's available and where can we find these openings? Any of my panelists can answer.
Okay, this is Tanu. Hello, everyone. So depending on where you want to serve, first and foremost, you have to determine which level of local government you want to serve. So there's the local, which level of government you want to serve. So you have the local, you have the county, and you have special taxing districts, and then you have the state level. So once you've identified, which level of government you want to serve on a board or a commission, then I would say the next step is to reach out to the city clerk, the town clerk, the county. I don't know if they have a clerk, but they generally have a person that you reach out to, and they can provide you a list of available or openings for you to take a look at. I know at the state level, they have a website that shows you what's available to you, but those are very politically driven. This is about who you know. So as part of the process, I say start networking with your local elected officials to make sure they get to know you and what you can bring to the table.
And I would just add to that, attend the county meetings, attend your local meetings. You can learn a lot by attending those meetings. Many times you look out in the audience and we're not represented. You don't have people in the audience. That is how you learn about your city, your county, or your special taxing districts. Attend the meetings and get to know your elected appointed officials. Once you get to know them, they will also assist you in being appointed to a committee. That's important.
Yes, and it's all about connections. And I believe I said this to my breakout room, but I want to make sure I reiterate to everybody. It's all about connections. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Who you know.
So add the two together. Make sure you combine the two. Combine what you know and then add who you know. And this, the Women's Foundation is amazing because they're all about connecting you with the right people. And Takeda has the biggest heart, and whoever you want to meet, she'll connect you. You say, Takeda, I want to meet Commissioner McKinley. I want to talk to her. She'll get you set up, either through an email or through a quick, text message or whatever. She'll get you connected, or whoever, you need to talk to will get you connected so that you can kind of start making those connections and say, hey, I want to serve here. I want to serve there. And they'll see that you're willing and open, and those doors will start opening. Absolutely. Thank you, ladies. Did anyone else want to add anything?
I wanted to add something.
Yes,
I don't know how many people still read the newspaper, but there's a lot going on in the newspaper. So I would kind of skim through some of that stuff. I mean, that's how I found out about the Commission on the Status of Women and Melissa McKinley. So wanting to restart that, just making sure you're up to date on the local news. I think it's really important in the state news if you want to be on a state board.
Thank you, Shelley. So the next question that's needing that I want to ask, this is going to sound like a duh question, but why do we need more women on these boards, represented on these boards? Ladies?
I'll start.
Okay, Sandra.
Well, I have found that we have a different perspective sometimes, and we need to voice those perspectives that are different, because sometimes what you're thinking and you don't voice it can make a difference in the conversation and the outcome of decisions that are being made. So I have found that we need to be more representative and we need to be participants, but don't hold back. Voice your concerns, because you can make the difference in a decision that is being made that impacts everyone.
And if I may just build upon what Sandra just said and use an example, I think I used this earlier. When we're not at the table as women, but not just as women, as young people that are actually paying taxes and working in the community, you have retirees making decisions that impact your life. So it's crucial for us to be part of the dynamics. A lot of us have responsibilities, but you have to make time for what's important, and your community has to be part of what's important to you, because if you're not part of the decision-making process, be it at a board or even elected, guess what? Those that, you know, were able to get into those positions are going to make decisions that are going to be impacting our quality of life. So brave the storm and just take an umbrella or a rain jacket and go in it. That's all I would say.
And it's great. And I'll piggyback on what Tanu said is when I ran in 2016, there were 5 councilmen and they were all men. Only 2 of them had children in the school district. So, you know, everyone looks at the 30,000 foot view, but what you don't realize, many don't realize, is that your local level is the one that determines your schools, how much you're going to get taxed on your garbage removal, which company you're going to use for the water, your water company, things like that. It's all done on a local level in your own municipality. So I even said one of the things when I was running is, you know, nobody up there represents me, not just as a woman, but a mother with a young child in the school district. So it's a whole different perspective, and you look at it that way versus others that are up there that are at different stages of their life.
Absolutely.
I think Selena has a really great point. But the other thing I'd like to mention is that it's really women who are at the grassroots of it all, who are out in the community, serving and working in the community. So I think we have a better perspective as far as that stuff goes, and making those decisions, what's really happening, if something changes in the legislature, how it's going to affect us, we know, because we're living it, right? And we're working and serving in the community of people who are going to be affected by the changes that are made. So if we're not at the table, then we're part of the problem, aren't we? Right? We can't be part of the solution unless we have a voice.
And with that, Shelly just dropped the mic. Shelly just dropped the mic. She just hit it right there on the head. And that is exactly where it is. We as women, and unfortunately, it's so hard to make this balance. And I think that's really why, like, I was really pushed to, you know, forced in a way really to create Politicalm, because I realized, you know, as women, it's very hard for us to have it all. We can have it all, but there is a give and take that you must balance out. And as mothers, as sisters, as wives, we give so much of ourselves, and then to say we want to be public servants on top of that and give so much more. And then when you put yourself on that stand that I am the commissioner, or I am the board, you know, member here, or I am this, I am that, people then see you as a problem solver, and they're going to come to you with all of their problems, and you then have to solve their problems in addition to solving all of your problems. So the balance can get thrown off really quickly. And so that's the issue. And, you know, it's a hard ask for us to ask for other women to step up to the plate and run, or to, you know, get appointed, because we know that we're asking a lot of you. We know that we're asking you to make a huge sacrifice. But at the same time, when we're not represented in these rooms, that's where the problems lie. And same thing with Selena. I am the only woman on my commission. It's been 5 years. I'm still the only woman on my commission. And I really hope to change that. I think I saw Aquanet on this call earlier. I'm going to keep calling you out, Aqua, right? You know, we need more elected officials. We need more women elected officials, because you guys bring something to the table that men just don't. I have nothing against men. I love men. I love my husband. Right? I love me some boys, right? Love me some men, but they think differently. And we're
smarter.
I will agree, but I'm gonna try to be politically correct here. You know,
I will say though, there was, and to your point, Christina, there was a Lifetime show, and I cannot remember the name of the show, and it was a woman who was running for office, and this was recently, And she did a focus group with potential voters and said, you know, here, ask me anything. It's a meet and greet. The second question they asked her was, how are you going to balance taking care of your children and running for office? So what they did in the show is they said, okay, they put her through that. They worked with her for 2 weeks to transform her into a man. They taught her how to talk, walk, act like a man, movements, everything, dressed her up, put her back in front of the same focus group 2 weeks later. The one person asked about the candidate's family at the very end. Nobody said, how are you going to, as a woman, they just automatically judge, how are you going to make sure that, you know, the next generation doesn't fall off the face of the earth because you are doing multiple things. And Shelley's an amazing leader in just the sense is that when I met her was when I was over at, she was the president of Junior League and I was a new recruit. And she talked about her 4 boys and how she balances everything and how she does everything else like that. Kelly Smallridge is another one that is an amazing person like that. You can balance everything. You just have to plan out a little bit more, but you can do it all and change perception.
And
women make up.
Go ahead.
Women make up a big majority of the electorate. We need to remember that. And we can make a difference. And yes, we have to balance, and sometimes it's a juggling act, but guess what? We have women represented on this panel who are electorate, who do that, and they do it very well. Mm-hmm. We cannot hold back. We need to move forward and make a difference and use our voice.
And this is the time. This is the time. There's never been a better time to do it. This is the time, ladies. So get it together, ladies. Let's go. So my next question that I want to ask to kind of get us to wrap up, you know, with this segment is I'd like to ask the women who are, and this is going to kind of go a little bit outside of our panel, but the women who are elected on here, I'd like to kind of just have you give a quick little timeline of what did you do before you got elected? Because I know that that's a question that a lot of individuals who are interested in running for office have. Like, what was the thing that you did to kind of show that you were serving the community prior to you actually running and getting elected to office? So that would go to Selena, that would also go to Rochelle, that could also go to Vice Mayor Long Robinson. So any of you all can answer that question, because I think that's a very vital question for us to answer.
Well, I'll go ahead and go first. You know, Rochelle is one of my mentors, so I'll let her go last. She's a seasoned elected official. I was actually appointed to my seat in 2016. But prior to that, I think I was recognized because I think there's a young lady on here who worked actively in her church. And I was very active in serving in ministry. I was the youth director. And I went to a Baptist church. So anyone who knows Baptist folk, you know, if you lead in Baptist folk, that's a different type of person to lead. But I was the youth director, and then my pastors at the time moved me up to be over our community engagement. And so I had the opportunity and the privilege to organize youth explosions to reach children throughout the county. And it was a great opportunity for me. And so I think that helped with me being able to serve in an elected official capacity, also with being innovative in the thought process of what I do now. So I actually I started off serving in the church. And I was recognized to be appointed to serve as an elected official in Westlake.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
So I'm a healthcare provider. I'm a pharmacist. And throughout my career, I've worked in pretty much any phase of pharmacy, everything from retail to hospital. I was a drug rep, so I was in big pharma for a while. And I got my consultant's license. And during all that, I raised 3 kids. And it wasn't until my youngest, there's an 8-year difference between my youngest and the next one, and 11-year difference between the youngest and the oldest. I was 40 when I had my youngest. So it wasn't until he was in high school and almost done when I started getting politically active and I started to work in political campaigns. And as a volunteer, never getting paid, helping other people get elected. And it was between 2010 and when I ran in 2017, when I finally decided that it was my turn. I was tired of working on behalf of other people. It was right after the 2016 election. And I said, nope, I've got to get in the ring. So I've been multitasking the whole way through. And you can have any background and end up as a elected official. What I bring to the council is very different than what my fellow council members bring, just by virtue of what my background is.
And Selena?
And my story is similar. And I have to tell you that Katrina, I think, has it harder than anybody else out there because she started brand spanking new with no brick and mortar out in her neighborhood. So she's really had to build it all up. At least I had the benefit of Royal Palm Beach is 60 years old, so you could always tweak what we have, but she started from scratch. So I give them a lot of credit for everything that they're doing out there. Same thing, I moved to West Palm Beach to help my mom open her own business. So my parents are entrepreneurs. We always had to work. And we always were involved in our community. So I didn't know anybody when we moved out into West Palm and helped her open up the business and then became involved in the community. I joined the chambers and I'm a member of Rotary. My dad's been a Rotarian my entire life. So once they started letting women in, I ended up joining down here. But started volunteering on different things. So I've sat on the board of several chambers, and then it was nonprofits that I got involved in that I was passionate about. And I started out with their fundraising and events, and then ended up going onto their boards and learning and networking from there. Sandra was president when I was on the board of Executive Women of the Palm Beaches. So there's a whole different experience out there. And I was a member of Junior League of the Palm Beaches when Shelley was president. So you learn a whole different group of that and you get involved in the community. I think the other thing that helped out as well is I'm a graduate, as many that are on the call, is Leadership Palm Beach County. So not do I have a really good understanding of Royal Palm Beach because I've lived here for so long and I know the ins and outs, but I now understand the intricacies and how it all fits together in Palm Beach County, which, by the way, is the largest county east of the Mississippi. So when you think of the vast space that we have, and it is so diverse, it is great that you can go from, Boynton Beach and you can see everything that's out there, and then you can go out to the Glades and you get a totally different experience, and we're all under one umbrella. So it's just that's what it is. A lot of what the other people have said too. It's volunteering and what you're passionate about. You network and connect from there. And then you're like, you know what? Now sometimes it's the self-confidence. Oh yeah, I've chaired that board, or I've been the president of this organization. I think I can sit up there with the rest of them and make decisions.
And Selena, that was a great segue into what I was going to say and kind of the conversation that's happening in the chats here. And to wrap us up with this dialogue, it's to tell you ladies to do it afraid. Do it afraid. You're scared, suck it up and do it. You're nervous, suck it up and do it. You don't feel like you're qualified, do it anyway, apply. You don't feel like you belong in this space and it's a whole bunch of men, or it's a bunch of people who have all these degrees and you barely finish high school, do it anyway. You have to. And no one's going to give you permission to take a seat at that table. No one will ever give you permission to take a seat at that table. You have to pull your chair or bring your own damn chair, okay? Bring your chair and go ahead and get your seat at that table, and you'll see things will start changing. Things will start improving. And I've seen it myself as we've really kind of gone through these last few years of seeing more and more women step up and say, listen, whatever I have to do, you know, if I have to get a sitter to help me with my kids when I have commission meetings, or if I have to, you know, kind of like negotiate it out with the husband, whatever it is you got to do, just do it, and do it afraid. It's okay. And you've got enough women to back you up and hype you up anytime you need it, so that you can get it done. So I am so proud of you all in advance. I thank all of my panelists who spoke tonight, Ms. Shelley Albright, Ms. Selena Samios, Ms. Tanu Pena, and Ms. Sandra Turnquest, and also Ms. Cindy, I keep butchering her last name, Bedrew, it's Bedrew, I think it's Bedrew. I want to thank her as well for just joining us and telling us the resources that are available at the county. So with that, I will turn it back over to Takeda, and we will wrap for the evening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Commissioner. I'm going to hand the Zoom over to Miss Robin Lawrence.
All right. Again, thank each and every, on behalf of the Junior League of the Palm Beaches and all of our partner organizations, we want to thank each and every one of you of joining us this evening. It was our desire to inform, to educate, and to inspire you to pursue appointments to our local government boards and commissions. There are numerous opportunities to serve right here in our county and within our local cities that may align with your personal interests, your professional pursuits and endeavors, and also your passions. You've heard from some dynamic women who have highlighted their journey, they've explained their why, and they've detailed how their service impacts not only their community, but their personal lives. In my breakout room, we learned that in order to be successful in your journey, you have to do your homework. You need to understand those required responsibilities. We were told to read the city and/or county charter, communicate, understand that this also takes time, commitment, and dedication, and you also have to be an active listener. There is a calling for women to speak up, express your interests, and take your seat at the table. Simply apply. Women's voices need to be heard because decisions are made daily in our communities. Women must be seen and heard. Your public service can refine or provide you with new skill sets and new tools, networking opportunities, connections, and also potential future appointments. Now, ladies, if you are ready to take that leap, we have compiled 2 handouts with links and a list of open board and commission appointments. Simply scroll up in our Zoom chat. Takeda dropped the link for you so you can simply download it to your desktop. And we're also going to make sure that you get a copy via email tonight. Tonight, like I said, we're wrapping up with boards and commissions, but we do invite you to join us next month on Wednesday, December the 16th at 6 p.m. to talk about Nonprofit Board Service 101. We will give an overview of what it's like to serve on a board, and so that you also have a better understanding of the types of questions to ask before you actually consider joining a nonprofit board. Again, thank you very much and have a great evening.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Good night and thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Have a beautiful evening.
December 16 at 6 p.m.
12 p.m.
December
Did I say 6 p.m. 12 p.m.
Nikita, I need a pitch real quick. Bongo is recruiting for our committee. So if you're interested in serving, please reach out to me, tanu.pena@gmail.com. We're a new foundation targeting a different group of young women to push them into Women's Foundation. Thank you, ladies. Good night.
Good night.
Everyone. Don't do it afraid, ladies.